This video will show you how to use the toolbar in Microsoft Word. Starting at the top, there are some quick links to save, to undo. Mine also has printer and a new document and preview. This little arrow will drop down and let you add any other quick links that you would like to add. So for example, I can add open a file. On the left of the toolbar, there is the File button, where you can open a new document by clicking New. You can open an existing document by clicking Open. You can save a document or save as, and you can print. You can also close the document from this toolbar. If you want to go back to your document, just click on the arrow. So click on the arrow. The first tab on the toolbar is the Home page, and this is probably one you'll use the most. First you have paste, cut, and copy. So you can use your mouse, you can use keyboard shortcuts, or you can also click here. This is also where you can change the font. So that's the next box, is font. So for example, I can highlight the title and I can change the font style so that now you can see the letters are different. And I can change it back to what I had. I can also change the font size. There's a number, and clicking on the arrow next to it, I can choose a different font size. I can also click on these letters and I can make the font bigger, or I can make it smaller. This is also where I can make the font bold, and I can click to make it bold and click it to undo the bold. I can italicize the font and again click to undo. I can underline the font and click to undo. There are other tools in this box that you can use. You can highlight text in different colors. I can go up to the quick links and undo that. I can also change the font color. So for example, now it's blue. Oops. And again, I can click undo. Under font color, the automatic is black, but you can choose others, but the default is black, and that's what most school papers should be turned in with. In the next box we have paragraph, and this is where you can add bullets, and again you can click and then click again to undo the bullet. You can add numbers and click again to undo. This is where you can center the title, or if you want it to the right, you can click justify right or align left. This is also where you will change the spacing of the document. So line and paragraph spacing, click the arrow, and you can choose single space, 1.15, 1.5, 2.0 would be double space, so that would be standard. There are different styles you can use in Microsoft Word. That would be something that you would learn in another computer class. Last tool on the home page here I like is Select. I can click on that and click Select All, and it automatically highlights my entire text. So I can click Select All. I can also click at the beginning and drag my mouse and highlight everything. I can start the end and drag my mouse and highlight everything. I can go to the margin to highlight just one line. And I can double click on a word to highlight the word. You'll notice that a quick menu pops up when I do that, so I can make the word bold, I can underline it, I can highlight it or change the color and change the font size. If I want to, for example, underline just one letter, I can put the mouse next to the letter, click and drag it and highlight just one letter, and then click underline. And I can undo that. So that is the home page. The next page is the insert. So you click on insert. This is where you can insert different things. The first thing is a page break. So if you want text on 2 separate pages, you can click text break. And here I have 3 of the sentences on one page and the beginning on the other page. And again, I can click undo. I can also insert a table with different columns and rows. I can insert a picture. And I can delete that with my delete key. And again, there are other things that you can add. You can add a hyperlink, which is adding a URL so that you can click directly from the text to a website. Header and footer. Header will add a space at the top of a document. Oops. And you can choose different styles. There's a header and you can add extra information there. You can also add a footer, which will add extra space at the bottom. And you can add page numbers and headers and footers, or you can just add a page number directly, and you can choose where you want to put it. One last thing is a text box. If you want a line around specific text, you can add a text box. So the next tab is design, and again, these are different styles or themes or designs that you can have in Microsoft Word. That is not very common if you're just typing a basic Word document, but if you're doing some kind of flyer, you can certainly change the designs, and you can click and choose different formats. Page layout is where you can change the margins. So if I want to have a smaller margin at the top, now I have a smaller margin. If I want to go back to the 1 inch, there's the 1 inch. I'm just going to remove that header. Remove, there we go. Going back to page layout, so there are margins, then I can change the orientation. So it's set up to be portrait, which again for most documents you type for school, you want portrait, but you can change it to layout, or I'm sorry, to landscape, and that will basically turn the paper on the side. And there are, of course, other tools that you can change in here. Under references, when you get into college classes, you'll be doing bibliographies, and there are tools for that. Mailings is working in an office setting and sharing documents, setting things up to mail. This is also where you can type and print envelopes and labels. Review is an important tab in the toolbar. This is where spelling and grammar is. So I can click on this and it will go through my entire document, and I can click on whether I want it to ignore it or change it. So I'm going to close that for now. There's also a thesaurus. You can also get a definition. So for example, if I want to look up the word region, there's a dictionary. You do need to sign in for it. There's a thesaurus that gives you different words for the word region. And you can also do word count, and it will tell you how many pages you have, how many words you have, and other information. And that can be important if your teacher has told you to write a document with a certain number of pages, a certain number of words. The word count tool is nice. There is a translation tool. You want to be careful because translation's not perfect. You can change the language. The default is English, but you can add other languages. And again, there are other tools in this, but spell check would be the most important one in review. And then you can also click View. And you can change the view. So there is my reader view. I'm going to click Escape on my keyboard to go back. The print layout shows you exactly what it'll look like on paper. Again, you can use other tools. You can also zoom. So if you want to make the text bigger, you can do that. And click Undo. Zoom, go back to 100% on the you can look at one page, multiple pages, you can have windows, so I can split the window, and I can also view side by side. That's nice if you want to look at two documents at the same time. I'm going to close this other document. So that is the View tab. So again, this is the toolbar, and you can just click on the different tabs to find the tool that you want. For basic Word documents, Home, Insert, Page Layout, and Review are probably the most common ones that you'll use.